What's up, everybody? It's Screech again. We got one from Rev says Desu again, and this is about, as you can see from the video itself, Sungwon Cho. I hope I said that right. Or ProZD, whatever. I believe this is the guy who does like the quoting uh, Disney's Peter Pan and like all the sound effects on time without even seeing the movie or like watching it. So like if I'm right, that's how I found this dude. So it sucks to see somebody already fall from grace. Let's get in the full screen. I believe Rev is traveling or sick or something. Who's probably going to say why he's not on the screen? So, yeah, words.
Hey, what's up, guys? Rev here. So once again, no VTuber model for today. I am traveling around for the Labor Day holiday, so I hope you guys are enjoying that if you are celebrating it. But anyways, we're going to be looking at another Reap What You Sow moment featuring ProZD.
I love Reap What You Sow moments. They're the best ones in the world.
This is someone who has made comments about anime and the dubbing scene and voice actors generally, and those comments have continued to haunt him for a very long time. Now, in case you're not familiar with who this guy is, he is someone who blew up on YouTube, where for years he made very successful sketches that are anime themed, and eventually he got some opportunities in the anime voice acting dub scene. Now, he's become a bit of a meme, especially among anime fans, because of his comments about the medium. While his virtue signaling on places like Twitter has gotten seal claps from members of his industry and some of the most annoying users on social media, a lot of other anime fans, specifically dub fans, are pretty annoyed with some of his comments, especially the ones where he is very hypocritical.
I'm just going to preface this with I have no clue what Rev is talking about. I had no idea. Like, I heard maybe there was something about Genshin Impact. Like, there was some Genshin news I saw, and he was part of it. I'm not sure if that like he was actually part of it or if he just showed up and like the stuff, the feed, whatever. So I'm curious as to see how big he opened his mouth and how big of a foot he's got to eat at this point.
Someone who has advocated for censorship of anime that he considers yucky or gross.
Is he part of Collective Shout? It sounds like he's part of Collective Shout.
He's also made a lot of comments about authentic casting, which is a very, very hot button issue. Seems very basic in terms of how normal people react to it, but a lot of people are trying to virtue signal. They've been pushing this authentic casting thing for a long time, and ProZD is one of the people at the helm of that movement.
Okay, so it's like, don't whitewash Hollywood like they did with Avatar, The Last Airbender, for the most part. That's what I'm hearing. Like, that's what he was advocating for. Stop doing that. Let's see what's going on.
Now, when there was a recent project announced, Knights of Guinevere, people were looking at this and then
I was scratching my chin.
Voice acting cast for the characters. They noticed one thing: ProZD playing this specific character.
Okay. To me, that looks like Gomez Adams.
Now, you look at the two right there side by side. Uh-oh. Looks like their ethnicity doesn't really match up. Now, if you're not someone who advocates for authentic casting and, you're a normal person, you don't care about this. But the reason people are in the comments section like this pointing out hypocrisy, it's because he has pushed for authentic casting time and time again, where he wants the ethnicity of the character to match the ethnicity of the voice actor playing them. And this is something he was called out for about 2 years ago. He kind of fell on his own sword with this concept. This is why people are so fired up to see.
I mean, yeah, if you've said that, you kind of opened your, rubber check.
Him taking this role. It all began with this situation involving a Bleach dub for the character Yoriichi, and
They think matching skin color to VA is what fans want or even care about. Truly a sad day in dub. I still have a cough, by the way. Platinum Equinox. I am quite saddened that Wendy Lee wasn't given an opportunity to make a return as Yoruichi in the Thousand Year Blood War. Why wouldn't they let her return? Like, I'm sorry if there's nothing like scandalous at all. Let him return. Like,
Originally, this character was played by the voice actress Wendy Lee, who, as you can see, is a white woman. And she's playing a darker skinned character. Nobody cared, right? She did the role for years. Everything was great. But then there was a recast where a different voice actress, Anyaris Quinones, who has darker skin, then took over this role, at least very briefly. And people were making tweets like this, seeing one and one together and thinking, why would you needlessly recast the voice actress for this character when clearly Wendy Lee also wanted to reprise the role? What is going on here? Is this an attempt to virtue signal and promote authentic casting? And eventually, citing complications with scheduling and some confusion, they would give back Wendy Lee the role. So she would end up reprising the role.
good.
But people in the voice acting scene and their supporters were very upset about this, where people were crying foul, that there was something not right about this. And they were even pointing out Wendy Lee's reaction on social media once she did get her role back, saying she was being insensitive to those comforting Quinones after the recast. And quoting a related post, ProZD would say the recast was already unacceptable, but this is just the effing yikes on top.
I don't get what he means by that. Like, is he pro they should not have recasted because that character was already voiced? Or, like, is he saying the person they hired was a bad choice and then giving it back to the original character, voice actress, is.
Now, the last part is referring to what they believe are insensitive comments she was making about the situation, referring to Wendy Lee. But as you can see, the first part is making it very clear. He's implying that the recast, that Wendy Lee getting her role back, was already unacceptable. And reading between the lines in his support of authentic casting, the only explanation is that he thought she shouldn't play that role because her skin color didn't match up with the character. And this is something he made very clear in an interview around that time.
Do you feel like your opportunities are limited? Do you feel like more opportunities would be open to you if you were, a white male, being by what you've seen so far?
I definitely would have more opportunities if I were white.
He's on a MacBook using the built-in filter.
For sure. There's no doubt about that. I mean, even comparing now to let's say 10, 5-10 years ago, it's definitely changed. I think
To cast authentically means to hire actors who resemble or relate to the characters they are playing. Okay, so, like, I'm not political. Pause it if you want to read it. But this sounds like DEI, and I'm all about putting the right person in the role who's qualified for the role. If you can get an Asian person to play an Asian person, let an Asian person play it if they're qualified enough. But it's voice acting. There's no faces. So now you're talking appropriating languages, and then we can go and talk about Miss Little Snow White here. On a whole nother argument about that, because she has dozens of interviews where she's speaking completely American, and I don't mean white, I mean American. And then the moment something Latin pops up, she immediately kicks into a Latino accent, or however you want to do it,
studios are much more aware of, hey, we should, cast authentically, so there have been some good steps. We still have a long way to go.
So to make this very clear, authentic casting is something that's trying to force voice actors to only play roles where the ethnicity of the character matches their own. This is something that is so progressive, it is regressive.
I'm not sure I agree with that, but my brain's not functioning, Rev. But I will say, how the hell is that going to be possible when the world is so diverse and mixed now? Like, it's going to be impossible.
of these people cite an attempt to even the playing field where minority voice actors will have more opportunities, but that is just not how it plays out in practice, especially in the anime industry. If you have, for example, a black voice actor, they are going to lose roles because of this. Yes, they will get priority on darker skinned characters.
Yeah. Can you name a black character in Avatar: The Last Airbender? Because just saying.
That's only a very small fraction of anime characters, so in the dubbing industry, they're going to lose almost all.
Or Final Fantasy. Like 7's my favorite, and there's only like a black character, and that is Barret. And I know the remakes like added some, but like you really don't see them. They're not forward facing or prevalent by what it seems like. Nothing in Kingdom Hearts that I can think of off the top of my head, but I haven't played those in forever. I need to do that. I mean, yeah, it's a very good point. Like black voice actors and actresses will just completely no longer exist because they won't have parts if we do this. My eye looks weird.
Opportunities. And that's something people are pointing out. I know, radical theory for people like this, but discrimination based on the color of your skin, especially with employment opportunities, is not good. But people like ProZD have been pushing this very hard, and lo and behold, he'd fall on his own sword. Where back in, I believe, late 2023, he lost a role because of authentic casting. This was applied against himself in this now deleted Twitter thread where he was told he cannot take an opportunity to voice a white character because he's, of course, Asian. And he would be very upset about this, even trying to deflect and say the naysayers will go, oh, don't you want authentic casting? And he continues on basically saying this is not an example of that and that the playing field hasn't been leveled, and just really playing the victim in the situation once again. So looking at the entire scope, his continued support for authentic casting and weaponizing it against people he doesn't like, this happening to him back in 2023 was very ironic.
All right. So I got an audition for Prominent Cartoon where I was sent just the Asian character looking through the rest. I told my agent, hey, I'm happy to read for this, but can I read for some other characters? To which I was told all of those characters are drawn as white, so no. This was 2023. I don't see a year on some of his other stuff or when he said that, but like if this is post his comment about ethnic hiring, then this is just the casting community going, no, this is what you said, so you need to live up to it. I mean, okay, to add extra insult to injury, the character I got sent was labeled Middle Eastern, Southeast, or Southeast Asian because, you know, that's all the same, right? You can just lump them all into one. I can defend the company, but I can also see his point. It's like that's a little demeaning. It should have been just ethnic character at that point. In my opinion, as the company who would have done the casting, but it's basically we send it to a bunch of different people, and it's going to be whichever one we hire. Like that's what that reads to me. But he's right; that is insensitive on how it was done. On that, I will give him a flower for that one.
People have not forgotten about this. So when he did go to Twitter and announce his role in this Knights of Guinevere series, people are now mocking him. And here's a great example of how these interactions typically go. Here's Madame Savvy saying, aren't you the blow-up pool ball who said you have to look like the character you voice?
I need to look into Madame Savvy. She keeps popping up on all the other VTuber stuff I watch, and it's like, she just seems vicious, and I like it.
And of course, blocked. And this is something he's been doing forever. This has been the play, so to speak. I got blocked as well for a different tweet that I briefly referred to at the beginning of the video, where he was talking about the anime series Made in Abyss.
I actually saw this tweet the other day. Like, I saw this tweet. Okay. So this is what this was about.
And he was making a claim about that, saying he wishes that parts of the show would be removed, referring to what he considers the creepy stuff. And then when he got major backlash for criticizing his own industry's tropes, he would try to say, oh, it's just a joke, and that anyone who has an issue with this is not normal and basically stupid. And I made a very bland post, not even directly interacting with his post, rather a screenshot, and I would get blocked. And I thought it was a very mundane thing, but it was too much. That's been the play for him, is to block anyone who criticizes him one way or another.
I think blocking people should be banned because all it does is allow you to stay in an echo chamber. This is a hot take. Like, I'm not sure if I actually agree with what I'm about to say. But blocking people should be banned because all it does is allow you to make an echo chamber to where you can believe either your own lies or your own truths, and you're not able to hear the other things or get constructive criticism or grow as a person and stuff like that. By not allowing people to be blocked, or by allowing people to not be blocked, it allows you to see what's going on. It's basically like erasing history. If you erase history, you're doomed to repeat it.
And that has been confirmed again. Just before recording this, he did make a response to everything going on with the current series he's voicing in. And he says, hey all, this will be my last tweet on this platform. I will no longer be using Twitter after this. If you look at the replies on my latest announcement tweet, you'll see a lot of comments like this. This has been going on for years now, and while the normal procedure has been to block and move on, I truly don't think Twitter is worth it anymore.
But I bet you're on Blue Sky.
In the past, I have expressed that I think diversity in casting is important. It's a complicated topic, but at the end of the day, I will stand by this. I think it's important for voice actors to be given equal opportunity. And I think there have been positive changes on that front. A lot of bad faith arguers have tried to paint this as me saying things I never said. And of course, we're going to read the part 2 of this, but we know he's not just promoting diversity. In fact, authentic casting that he has made very clear is something he supports does the exact opposite in practice. We all know this. It's ruining a naturally, very organically diverse industry where your looks shouldn't matter whatsoever. It's just the quality of your voice acting skill. But anyways, he continues on saying, I've been reluctant to address this for years because I know a lot of these people will not listen to reason no matter what I say, and I have not wanted to add to this ongoing drama. Twitter especially is a cesspool for hatred, and it's been awful these past few years. But I think it's important for people to know that this has been happening. This is the last time I'll comment on any of this. Goodbye, Twitter. You truly suck. And he gives 3 examples of cherry-picked comments, most of them with only a few likes, where they're saying things about his race. Obviously, very aggressive comments, but he's cherry-picking these responses to make it sound like he is the subject of racism. Like, that's the only thing going on here. Now, this is part of the reason why I always say this type of stuff detracts from the real criticism. This stuff serves as an opportunity for someone like ProZD to show these comments and say, oh, it's because these people are racist. They're just, acting outrageous. They're doing these things while deflecting all the valid criticism people are actually giving. That's why you don't give people like ProZD a chance to play the victim. And that's what he did immediately. He doesn't...
I mean, yeah, that's what everybody does. Like, it's basic reflex. It's stupid, but it's basic reflex. And I will say, Mr. Philip Chan, that comment is horrible. And no, I don't even understand half of the words Woggles said. Because that made total sense. But I will say it got 453, whatever that thing is. So, like, and I got 40 likes. Like, I'll say that's honestly a valid one. Like, that got a lot of traction. It didn't get a lot of reposts or retweets, whatever you want to call it. And we can't see the other one. But, like, Woggles was a good one to bring up. I'm going to stand by that. That was a good one to bring up as far as the whole, this is how people really are thing. It's still cherry-picked.
Express any of the criticism about his support of authentic casting and how he is, quite literally, violating his own principles by taking this role. Rules for thee, but not for me, is really the way to sum this up. And also, people were also pointing out that authentic casting wouldn't even support other people playing in the show. But anyways, I think you really get the point. That's going to do it for this video, as always.
Yeah, this one I don't agree with. Like, Daka 1, I'm assuming that's how you say that. I feel like this is just attacking other people to benefit your attack on the one, and that's just not cool. Like, if you want to attack him, like, fine, he said some things and you're calling him on his BS, but you shouldn't bring other people into it, especially when they haven't. I'm assuming that Miss Lauren Kong has not said anything of the same stature. That's what I'm assuming because it wasn't brought up. I don't know nothing.
Feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.
So Rev with another good one. A short one. I like the short ones. But yeah, he really opened up his mouth and wrote a check his ass can't cash. Sucks to be him. Sucks the fact that it's something like I really liked him in the beginning, but like now I'm not sure I like him anymore. Just based off of that, it's like hypocrisy and like being an adult. Like, will I boycott things just because he's in it? No, like I'm not that kind of person. That's not me. But give Rev a shout out. Give him a subscribe, show him some love. And yeah, I'll catch y'all on the next one. Bye bye.